Lotus will end production of the Elise, Exige and Evora this year as it gears up for production of its new sports car series. Today we want to show you why these cars are so special and get a good insight into Lotus as a company and their future direction.
Here we are against the game.
Colin Chapman found Lotus in 1952. His design philosophy focused on cars with lightweight and fine handling, instead of bulking up on horsepower and spring rates, which he famously summarised as adding power makes you faster on the straights, subtracting weight makes you faster everywhere.
Few people can succeed in this competition. One of the few who has is Colin Chapman.
Have Lotus come to a point where they have to change their core values in order to give their company a future in the crowded car market? So why did you choose Lotus as a brand?
It's been a dream. So about 20 years ago I saw an S1 Exige on the road. It was a chrome orange one back then, and ever since then I've always wanted one. And obviously Lotus is full of F1 history, big F1 fan, so yeah, it was kind of a no-brainer. I just had to own one.
The Lotus Exige, the track car. The car is considered to be a hardcore coupe version of the Elise, a car that is fully focused on performance and more geared towards driving on a racetrack. It has more grip and much more power for straight line speeds, perfect for track days.
I've considered a Porsche, considered a 911, but without sounding almost a bit blasé, it just didn't fill me with the sense of occasion that this does. So you sit in this, and the moment I sat in it, I just felt like it was special.
Right, it's time for me now to experience everything Lotus. Matt has kindly given me the keys to the Lotus Exige 410 Sport, so I'm going to jump in the driver's seat and find out what this car can do. Let's do it. Let's do it. Oh my gosh, here I go.
First impressions?
It's like very insular, sort of very compact, just very punchy.
Yeah.
It's
immediate, isn't it?
Yeah, it's potent.
Just immediate torque.
Yeah. Oh, around this corner. Oh, yes. The steering, when I'm turning it, it's so direct.
Yeah.
I'm so connected with the car, it's addictive, isn't it? You just want to keep sort of slowing up and pushing it and punching it. The sound is harmonious, it's beautiful.
Yeah. This is in touring mode at the minute.
Yeah.
So you can put it into sport mode and that raises the rev limit to 7,000.
Oh, okay.
And then you've got a race mode, which is a really clever piece of electronics that Lotus have got, where it learns the surface of the road and applies traction over to each wheel. So Lotus,
that's race mode, yeah?
Yeah. So Lotus said on circuit it's made drivers quicker. Professional drivers have found it to be quicker in race mode.
Yeah.
Because it's fully learning the circuit and giving you the feedback around each corner.
Oh, it's a special car, isn't it? It's kind of questioning why are they stopping such an incredible range of cars. I mean, all three just gone.
Yeah.
I just, keep one going.
Yeah. Such a shame.
I just love the view of the actual, looking out the front screen, seeing those.
Hitting every corner, you just look at the wheel arch and you can see where you really need to be heading.
What car do you have?
It's a Lotus Elise S-Cup.
The Lotus Elise, the Sunday driver. The Lotus Elise is the smallest car on offer and also the oldest model currently available. It hit the market back in 1996. The car was very popular amongst petrolheads for its authentic driving experience. The car was super lightweight, minimising the amount of luxuries in the car to keep the weight as low as possible. So what have you enjoyed most about your car?
Driving it. I think for me, it's the driving experience. I know a lot of people like kind of being garage queens and looking after them, but I'm not really about that. For me, it's all about that kind of driving experience. The closest thing I can kind of relate it to is going go-karting. you know, pay a lot of good money to go go-kart and have a great, you know, time doing that. But I think for me, you know, the Lotus is a kind of go-kart for the road. It's something you can kind of get that really analog experience every single time you drive it. And for me, it's just, yeah, been out with your friends, driving around the Peak District. Can't think of a better way to spend your weekend.
The Lotus Elise, which you own, is the cheapest, most affordable option that they offer at the moment at £45,500. If they don't offer a similar price option in the future, do you think that they could be pricing out some of their loyal customers?
Absolutely, yeah. Unfortunately, I think that is the case. Again, I don't know the direction that they're going to take. I don't know what their kind of price point is going to be, but there's certainly a lot of very loyal people who have purchased an Elise before, and it's been one of their best-selling models that they've had. Yeah. So again, not to have something at that price point, you know, it does worry me. But again, you look at it, are they trying to kind of start, you know, entering the kind of markets and competing with Porsche? Is that where they're kind of trying to get into? I'm not really sure, but certainly I think without having that price point, I think they will lose out.
What car do you have?
It's a Lotus EVORA 400.
The Lotus EVORA, the daily driver. With the EVORA, Lotus decided to take on a different approach. Sticking with their core value of driving enjoyment, they built a car that is more suited to daily driving. It has back seats and is much more refined and offers the luxuries that are lacking in the other models, but still keeping that authentic Lotus driving experience.
It just gets so much adoration, and nice adoration, not
positive.
People love it, and you know, that's a great feeling as well.
So what have you enjoyed most about this car?
I enjoy the fact that it's British. I think it's the handling really. Obviously the soundtrack from the engine is second to none really, but it just points and shoots. It just points so well into corners, handles well.
Since Geely bought a majority stake in Lotus in 2017, they are taking Lotus into a different direction and focusing their efforts on commercialising the brand and creating high-end supercars to compete with other top brands, and moving away from stripped-back weekend cars. In 2022, a new Lotus SUV is rumoured to be launched, with the company trying to capitalise in this segment. However, there have been some mixed reactions so far.
For me, it's about sustainability of Lotus and them diversifying. Never going to go near it, never going to touch it. Not my bag at all, but if it means that the Lotus brand keeps on going, then I'm all for it.
Some might say that that's completely the opposite of what the brand stands for.
Yeah, I mean, Lamborghini have made one, and you look at that and I find it absolutely hideous. You know, I can't stand the thing personally, but I think for Lotus it'll be interesting to see what their take on it is. But as I said, you know, the DNA of Lotus is all about less is more, and I think that concept of an SUV for me does take it in a very different direction.
How can you make a light SUV? I think that's just satisfying Chinese. I don't think it fits with the brand.
Now, I'll let Matt back into the driver's seat to show me what his car's really like. I want to feel that power, so...
Ready?
Let's do it, lights are green. Oh, yes, the sound! Oh my god! Oh my gosh! Whoa! That is something incredible. That whole experience there of that power.
Is that how your heart rate going?
The heart rate's going. The noise. Yeah. It's like I'm at one with the noise because it's just right there.
Yeah.
Why are they stopping these cars?
No idea. Would you really get that feeling in an electric car? You get the acceleration, don't you? You get the buzz from the acceleration, but once that's finished and you're up to speed, you don't get the noise, do you?
I can't believe that. It just goes. It's so much fun. I do not know how you can transfer the feeling of that with the noise into an electric car. It's just unbelievable. Do you think that they should bring the Esprit badge back to create some sort of buzz with the new...
I think, you know, there's such a great heritage there with the names, with the models. What they do with the styling, I don't think really matters, it's the names.
Yeah.
You know, people just know of the name. What do you think of when you think of Esprit? For me, I think of...
James Bond.
James Bond, I think of 1980.
Yeah.
Brigitte Bardot.
It was massive, wasn't it? With the death of these models, it's finally time to say goodbye. With a range that has brought so much joy and excitement to so many, Will the new models be able to replicate that with their new creations? Only time will tell. Do you agree with their reasons for stopping the productions of these beautiful models?
I agree they've got to move with the times, but I don't see why they've got to stop the design of the models looking like they do now, because I think that's part of the joy of these cars in terms of how they look. You know, as I say, the race cars for the road. So I hope they keep that ethos with the new platform.
I think they're in a period of change at the moment. Obviously, we've got some announcements that are coming up in the next few days, so it'll be interesting to see the direction it's going. I think they have sold a number of the Elises and it's been a successful car, but I think in terms of them being a viable business moving forwards, I think they're going to have to change tact, and it's a shame because I really love the kind of, you know, the kind of breed of cars that they've got at the moment. Yeah. But for me, if it's a choice of they stick to kind of that core, what they've done now, but they kind of fizzle out another brand to take that space, or whether they kind of diversify and move into different markets and it keeps the brand going for longer, I'm definitely in favour of the latter.
Would you buy an electric car or maybe perhaps an electric Lotus?
Would I buy one today? No, the technology's not there. For me, it's something that's very much a kind of area of an investment that car companies are making. But for me, I think you'd be buying the kind of bleeding edge of the technology. I think as kind of time evolves, the technology evolves, I think things will get better. I'm sure when people first looked at a car compared to a kart, they thought, oh, that's never going to take off. And for me, this is a kind of another big jump in kind of technology. At the moment, the electric's just not there. It's not as fun. You know, a lot of the kind of the pieces that I really love about the kind of car now, the fact you can just jump in, put petrol in it, the fact that it's so light, and that's really what the kind of, you know, the kind of DNA of Lotus is, that real light, nimble. All of that's just gone, and again, just the fact that you can only do so many miles in it, pretty ridiculous. But I think those people who are kind of investing in that technology now are probably paving the way for the future.
I think Lotus lovers and enthusiasts are a different breed of people, aren't they? They appreciate it, they get on, they're approachable, and
it's like a club.
Yeah, exactly. It's amazing, really. And then you keep thinking of it's coming to an end. 2021, no more produced. And it's really...
The worry I think is that it goes too mainstream. You know, we've talked about the SUV.
Yes, yeah.
Part of the pull of Lotus is that it is unique. It's, you know, it's that ability for you to have a car that you feel is utterly special because you don't see many on the road.
Right, so that has been our episode on everything Lotus. Such an amazing range of cars that are coming to an end. Let us know what you think about it all in the comments below and what your favourite Lotus is. As always, throw me a like, get subbed, and I'll see you on the next one.